there, welcome back. Today, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about? I have no idea. And then I was sitting around the house yesterday, windows open, fresh breeze, 50 degrees. It's like, you know what? It's time to get outside, baby. And so we went for a walk. While we were walking, the husband and I, we started talking about things we'd like to do, vacations, things like that. Then we got on the topic of what do we want to do once our kids are out of the house, because isn't that what everyone talks about these days? We got a long time for that, but football season is over, and we're just like, what are we supposed to do on Sundays? So those two ideas came together, and we came to stadium tours and football games. It's one thing to watch a game on TV, but it's another thing to actually go there. And my husband and I, we enjoy traveling, we enjoy football. So I was like, why don't we make a goal to go to every stadium? There's, I believe, 32 NFL teams. And a lot of them are concentrated in the same area. So it's not like you're all over the place. Some of them you could hit on the same weekend. We have Sundays, we have Monday night, we have Thursday. There's all different kinds of options. So I think you could possibly, depending on the NFL schedule, get it done in one season, because seasons are 18 weeks now, I believe. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to kind of go over the list of NFL stadiums and just, chit chat about it. So I have a list here. I believe it is in alphabetical order. Starting off with number 1, the Arizona Cardinals. They are in Glendale, Arizona at the State Farm Stadium. It opened in 2006. Never been to that stadium. I have been to Arizona, but that would be probably a beautiful one. Number 2, we have the Atlanta Falcons in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. I have driven by this one, so that does not count, but Georgia is always a fun state to go to, in my opinion. Number 3, Baltimore Ravens, M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. It was built in 1998. Wow. So my husband is a Chiefs fan and I'm a Cowboys fan, so going to a Baltimore Ravens game will be interesting for us, but we are the type of people that we will watch football no matter what team it is. Does not matter. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills. Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park, New York, built in 1973. They're actually getting a new stadium. So if we want to see this stadium, we'd have to go right now, because I believe that stadium is either opening in 26 or 27. Hell, maybe it's 2025, I'm not sure. But if we want to see Highmark Stadium, we're going to have to get a move on it. Also, when going to a Buffalo Bills stadium, I feel like I need to go early in the season, because if we wait too late, we're going to get snow. Snow is beautiful, but I'm not built for that life. I live in the Midwest. I get enough snow. I don't need 2 feet of it. Coming in at number 5, we have Carolina Panthers at Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. Beautiful area, built in 1996. I think that'll be a fun one to go to. I've only driven through North Carolina. I haven't really visited, so that'll be fun. Number 6, Chicago Bears, Soldier Field, Chicago, Illinois. I've actually been to this stadium, but not for a football game. It was built in 1924. Wow, that's amazing. I've driven by that stadium many times too. Number 7, Cincinnati Bengals, Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, built in 2000. Been to Cincinnati a few times. I believe I've driven by that I've driven by that stadium. Cleveland Browns Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio, built in 1999, and I believe they just sold the rights to that stadium Huntington something, or I could be way off. Number 9, the Dallas Cowboys, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, built in 2009. Love me the Cowboys, but they could have done better with the windows and the sun, because every game, all you hear about is players staring into the sun. And they have a shade because they've had other events there where they pull the shade down. Number 10, Denver Broncos, Empower Field at Mile High, 2001. That will be a fun one. I enjoy visiting Colorado. Also, that would be one where we could go see the Chiefs play the Broncos. That's always a good game. And the Broncos have gotten so much better over the last couple of years that it'll be a fun game to go to. Number 11, the Detroit Lions, Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan, 2002. I have not driven by this stadium. I've been to Detroit, but I've not seen the stadium. Of course, I was on the very edge of Detroit. I was not in Detroit, so I'm not quite sure where the field is located in the city, but Detroit Lions have had a few great seasons. That'll be a fun game to go to as well. That's the other thing too. My husband and I were talking about, like, what do we wear to these stadiums? Because a lot of these teams, obviously, we don't root for. I was like, it'd be fun to get like a t-shirt from every game. You know, something to remember each trip by and get a picture. It'd be fun. Number 12, Green Bay Packers, Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin, built in 1957. Now, I have not watched a game at the stadium, but I have gone to the stadium. I did not go, well, I guess you can't really count it because I didn't go inside, but I was in the parking lot. We took some pictures. It was kind of cool. I've driven by the stadium many times. From the outside, it looks really fun. Number 13, the Houston Texans, NRG Stadium, Houston, Texas, 2002. I feel like this would be a good one too. When we go down to Dallas, also hit this one up. That'd make for a cool trip. I have not been to Texas in a long time. Number 14, Indianapolis Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana, 2008. I have driven by this one, but have not stopped. So, it's weird. It's always weird for me driving by these stadiums because you're like, man, I want to go there. But then you just don't go. Anyway. Number 15, Jacksonville Jaguars, TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, built in 2008. Now, down there, I mean, we could hit Atlanta, then we could hit Jacksonville, then we could head down to Miami. Another awesome trip, right? Like, this just makes me so excited that my husband is on board for this idea. Granted, we've got quite a few years, so a lot of these things can change. But if things stay relatively the same as in where teams are located, stadiums are located, we could have some really fun trips. And some really cool trips when we have to go to the Northeast. But it's okay. It's worth it. Go to those games first. And then save all these warmer areas for later, right? We go like to Texas and Florida at the end of the season. Anyway. Number 16, the Kansas City Chiefs, GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri, built in 1972. I have been to the stadium multiple times. I have watched a couple games, and I've done the stadium tour. If you are a Chiefs fan, even if you're not a Chiefs fan, and you're in Kansas City, go to the stadium, do the tour. Most stadiums offer tours. We got to go in the locker room. We got to go in the suites. We got to go on the field. We got to go through the tunnel. It was fun. Our tour guide was awesome. It was just a great experience. I highly recommend it. We got to see all the trophies. So cool. Number 17, Las Vegas Raiders, Allegiant Stadium, Paradise, Nevada. Built in 2020. That one will be a fun one to go to. Los Angeles Chargers, SoFi Stadium, Inglewood, California, built in 2020. They share that with the Los Angeles Rams. So that's another one. We can knock out 3 in one trip. Go watch a Raiders game, go watch a Chargers or a Rams game, and we're done. Be great. Miami Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida, built in 1987. Another great one. Oh, and I forgot. Speaking of Florida, you have Jacksonville, you have Miami, and you have Tampa Bay. So we could have 3 Florida games. You could do a Sunday at one, a Monday at the other, a Thursday at the other, come back around to Georgia that next Thursday, if it worked out right. It'd be great. Number 21, Minnesota Vikings, US Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Built in 2016. Driven by that one a few times. Have not been. Number 22, New England Patriots, Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. Built in 2002. New Orleans Saints, Caesars Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana. Built in 1975. That one I also am excited to go see. Number 24, the New York Giants, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, built in 2010, along with the New York Jets, also at the same stadium. That's one that I'm kind of excited for, but not really, because I've been to New York once, and I've been by this stadium, and let's just say I don't enjoy navigating New York, but we'll make it work. When's the best time to come to New York? When am I gonna be least scared to drive through New York? Nah, we'll make it work. It'll be fine. Number 26, your Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 2003. Yeah. I will feel like I'm on enemy territory, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It'd be really fun to go to a Cowboys-Eagles game at that stadium. Next up at number 27, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers Acrisure Stadium, I believe. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, built in 2001. Another game where I'd feel like a little bit of a traitor. That's okay, though. I'm willing to do it. Number 28, San Francisco 49ers, Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California, 2014. That is one that I am very excited to go see. When I first started my love of football, I was around 11 or 12 years old. I was a huge 49ers fan. Back in the Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens days, I loved them. I remember for my 12th or 13th birthday, my mom got me a 49ers starter coat, my mom and dad. I was so excited. You know, starter coats were all the rage back then. So you weren't cool unless you had a starter coat. Anywho, number 29, Seattle Seahawks, Lumen Field, Seattle, Washington, 2002. Never been to Seattle. That would be fun. I hear Seattle can be very pretty in some areas. So. Number 30, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, 1998. I have driven by that stadium 2 times, and both times I was like, we need to stop. One of the times they had a huge billboard with, what's his name? Tom Brady. My brain was broken for a second, and I was like, who's the guy who like won everything and everyone used to hate? But I actually kind of like him. Tom Brady. Anyway. Number 31, Tennessee Titans, Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, built in 1999. This is one that I would enjoy seeing too. I love going to Tennessee. I think Tennessee is beautiful. I've considered moving down south to either Kentucky or Tennessee many times. Just haven't made that jump. I don't know that it'll ever happen, but that's one place that we constantly, kind of talk about, those conversations that you have with your spouse of like, if we could go anywhere right now, where would we go? And there's always a few places that come to mind for me, and it's either Tennessee, Kentucky, or North Carolina. Those are the ones that I kind of push around a lot. I've also pushed around the idea of like Georgia or very northern Florida, but I don't know, I like where I'm at now. Number 32, the Washington Commanders, Commanders Field, built in 1997. So, yeah, that's all the stadiums. Obviously, there are a couple teams that share a stadium. So, even though there's 32 teams, we might not have to go to 32 games. But I feel like it would be awesome to see all 32 teams play. Now, that could be done. Doesn't mean we have to see them at their home field, but as long as we visit all the stadiums at least once and we see every team play at least once, I feel like we've accomplished our goal. Or maybe we need to see the home team play at their home game because, like the Jets versus the New York Giants and the New York Jets game, what if we saw them play each other? I mean, I believe that happens every couple years, right? And then we'd have to see the Chargers and the Rams play. I wonder how often that happens. I think some of these out of conference or whatever games are on a 4-year rotation. Because like my husband's team is the Kansas City Chiefs and my team is the Dallas Cowboys. They only play each other about every 4 years. So I'm wondering if that's how some of these other ones are. But yeah, I think this is an awesome idea. I honestly just want to start planning now, but you can't plan until you know what season you're going. So it'd be silly to start now. But yeah, what do you do for travel? Like, where are we going? What are we doing? I know a cruise ship is on my bucket list. Cruising's not for everyone, but I want to at least give it a try, see if it's for me. If it's not, oh well. If it is, there we go. I would love to try Virgin Voyages, the all-adult cruising. I want to try a Disney cruise with my family. Yeah. I think those are on my list as well. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day.